Okay, I've just left my home. Run, squirrelies. Just left my home, and I've already seen 2 weird things. Here's a third one. What are you doing? Stopped right there in the middle of the road. But the first one was an elderly man was looking at one of these. You see that green box on that side? On the left side. Well, I'm seeing on the left side. I don't know what side you're seeing. But he was trying to push down the lid to one of those. It was an elderly man with a cane, and I could see him. And I'm like, I was afraid, like he was leaning on it because he was about to fall down. So I waited, and at the end of my driveway, and waited to see if he was going to fall down or what he was doing, and he was just trying to close it. Okay, and then I got to, backed up, got to the main, I would say, one of the main little streets in the neighborhood, and there was an elderly man coming, and kind of just stopped. I was waiting so I could turn that direction, and he was driving, and he was on the wrong side of the road, and he was driving, and when he got to me, I could see that he was an elderly man. Okay, then you saw the third one, the truck just sitting right there in the middle of the road. Okay, is that where they parked? It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all. I have seen delivery trucks that will park right in the middle of the road, and people can't get around them. Like, what the crap? They do have alleys, but I guess they can't close those off either. But they can close the main roads. I don't think so. But you never know. Anyway, the topic today was going to be about how you might not ever have a normal conversation with someone who is very, let's just say, narcissistic. See, I went through a stage saying, people pile, I've said that pretty much all the time. 10 years I've been making these videos on my main channel for it. But about 10 years. But I've been saying this, that so many people just pile everything under narcissism. Oh, they're just a narcissist. Oh, that. It's not always the case. It really is. But these days, that seems to be how people understand it. Anything that is, okay, what are you doing now? Again, another one? You're gonna just stop? Really? What are they stopping for? I don't know. Is that gonna be the theme of today? Really? Oh my goodness. So anyway, but so let's just get back to the topic. With a narcissistic person, will you ever have a normal conversation? Now, I don't want to say never, but I think it would be rare. I mean, if the conversation... Okay, Adam called me right when I was making that. I wonder if my conversation got recorded with him. It was like, okay, bye. I wanted to get out so I could get away for a little while, because we have been stuck inside cabin fever. Okay, I don't need him to bring home into my drive. Oh my goodness. I wanted to get away. Freedom. Yeah, I won't give up my day job. Anyway, so where was I in all this? So I said I'm going to get me something to eat. But we've been stuck inside, like probably much of the nation. And this is north of Dallas, a suburb, big city all to itself. And we've been stuck inside because of the cold weather and all that, and because, I figured out that what I was experiencing when I was having those excruciating aches, not pains, aches. I was chastised about the difference between ache and pain years ago, decades ago probably, and it stuck. But it was aches, awful, awful, awful. And I kept having them for a week or so. I don't even know. And I figured it out. I was experiencing hypothermia. And I've been looking it up. I'm seeing my doctor next week again. And I'm going to ask him to explain it to me. You know, why this would be happening. You know, and I'm anemic, and explain to me. He told me that I was anemic because nobody's told me. He said, you've been that way for a while. So I want all this explained. Okay, now where was I? I don't know. But anyway, normal conversations, right. What happens is that they somehow, some way, the ones I'm thinking about, now not everybody does the same. It's not a one size fits all. And some people might even say, well, no, that's not narcissism. Whatever. I'm going to just pile it under it myself. But they somehow, some way, drag their ego into the conversation. Drag in that it's all about them. They change it, switch it. You know, their ego, like I said, could be that they feel you're saying something good to them, or that you're saying something bad to them. Whatever it is, it's going to be about them and their ego. And they could use that kind of like somebody, to me, it's more like somebody with borderline personality disorder. I could be wrong, but I've known people who were diagnosed with it. They throw fits of rage, you know, on anything. They're really ticked off about somebody else, something somebody else did to them, but they're going to take it on the person who's available, person who's there. You know, that whole thing of bottling up inside, and then boom on whomever is there. It really doesn't matter to them. That's my experience. Might not be yours. But anyway, they throw a fit of rage. If they think that you said anything against them, that you told them in any way they're wrong, in any way, even if you were not even thinking they're wrong, or you weren't saying anything, but they think that you did, they're going to turn it around about them. It's not going to be a normal conversation. Like I said, I can't say 100%. There might be a conversation like, I'm going to go get something to eat now that I'm going to get something to eat. I'll use that as an example. And they just say, okay, get me this. And that's it. But no, I think with them, they're going to have a conversation about it that's going to be so weird. Something about them, something about their ego, you know, about how they like that or they don't like that. And, you know, go on and on and on about it. You know? Just... and it's going to drag their ego into it. Like I said, something about them and how they, you know, they're either glorifying themselves or they're mad at you because how could you? You know they don't like that when they just ate it, you know, the last time and we're fine. You know, something. It's going to be argumentative, combative. You know, like I said, I think those tend to be more like the people I've known that are diagnosed with borderline personalities. Okay. I got some onion rings and they smell good. I got them for Adam, so they do smell good. Anyway, how about a mature conversation? No, I'm not talking about people who are really young. I'm talking about people who, you know, this, because if you're really young, you still maybe, you got things to learn in life. We don't come pre-programmed, you know, to know everything. So, you have things. But I'm talking about somebody, you know, say they're in the sandwich generation and they need to figure out what to do with their, you know, about their parents, and they have children, this kind of, you know, that kind of age. And, you know, there needs to be an adult conversation about what to do, whether it's their parents or your parents or whomever. But it's not going to happen. You know, I'm saying in situations when it doesn't. You know, so like I said, some people might miraculously have a really mature conversation with one. And I guess it would depend quite a bit on what they have to gain from it, maybe. But my personal experience is that's not going to happen. Okay? They're going to draw their own ego into it. Like I I said, whether it's bad or good way, whatever it's about, the conversation's going to go down some other road, take a tangent here or way over there. You know, it's not going to be focused, not going to be right there. We used to just call this commitment phobic. You know, the person was commitment phobic and could not settle on anything because they're not going to be wrong. So they're not going, you know, this is my experience with these people. And people like this, they're not going to be wrong about anything, so they would rather not make a commitment than make you make the decisions, so that if something goes wrong, they can say, you did it. See there, it's all on you. I'm serious. It could be about any topic. They're not wanting to make the commitment to give an answer for it to be agreed upon. You know, oh, they're going to throw all kinds of monkey wrenches, like we used to call it, monkey wrenches. Where did that come from? Yeah, seriously, throw a monkey wrench? What, isn't it? What? But why do we say that? But you see, it's not going to be a normal conversation. It's not going to be, you sit down and you discuss it. Let's make a decision on what we're going to do, you know, or to help out your child through college, or to help out your, you know, your child to get an apartment, move in. How much should we help, or what, you know, whatever it is, it's not going to be. They're not going to decide. They're not going to give you, and they'll throw a temper tantrum if you try to push them. Like I said, the temper tantrums I see more as somebody that I have seen in my life. It's more somebody that's been diagnosed, you know, somebody who has been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I do kind of wonder about this borderline personality disorder. That is the one that I say I haven't studied. I've seen it my whole life, not in me, you know, but in other people. And I just haven't really sat down and studied, but that's not so true anymore. So, but yeah, okay, I don't know what, but the whole thing of temper tantrum. What I wonder more is, I saw somewhere the other day that borderline personality disorder is the most diagnosed. Okay, and I'm like, really? Is it a catch-all? Seriously, I have a question about that. Is it somebody sees it, they don't know what to say? You know, it is, and who's doing the diagnosing? You know, and are they just packing it under borderline personality disorder because that's the most common one? Or, I don't know. I am curious. I really want to know how they come up to this. I mean, I know how to look in the DSM and how they should be. What is that most of them would be diagnosing them as that? Why would it be the most that's been diagnosed? Is it because it's the most that it's the people who would go to be diagnosed, you know, to a therapist? See, last time I ever heard, the only people who could actually diagnose were psychiatrists. Okay, I don't know if that's changed or I had been misinformed, because I was misinformed twice about something, and by the people who should know. All right, and so I never really just trust, but hey, anyway, but why? Why is it that? I mean, they have all four of them have very different, some call them symptoms, but traits, whatever. I don't know why that truck was doing that. I was kind of like, oh. Yeah. By the way, since I left home, altogether there were 5 things in a row. Somebody just pulled out from a place, you know, a strip mall, just pulled out right out in front of me, like it was nothing. I'm on the main road. They're just pulling out. And they pulled out in front of me and then got into the lane on the left of me. And no problem. We're just going to pull out in front of you. Oh. It's like, wow. Where are people? They've been stuck inside the house too long, too. But anyway. But I wonder about other people. Have you ever had a normal conversation with somebody who's, is narcissistic, is histrionic, is borderline, is, they have the behaviors of characters, traits, etc. Or antisocial. By the way, asocial is the word many people are looking for. Just look it up. So, what they think it is not. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. No, let's see if that truck is still sitting in the middle of the road. Really. They parked there. Okay. We don't care if people need to get down the road. We're just going to park there. We got business inside. I tell you, some of the stuff I see, I'm like, where is your head? Oh, some would say they're being narcissistic. Yeah. So it's on this next road. And let's see if they're just parked right there. But anyway, but I am curious. How many people have ever had a really serious conversation? I should say serious, normal, serious conversation. When they didn't drag it off to where it was all about them, their ego, and them being, they're not going to make that commitment to it. It's going to be on you. It can even be, by the way, something like taking a vacation. They're not going to commit to it. Nope. Oh, it looks like the truck is gone. All right, wrapping up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.